came to the
Because they burned me up in that. They keep those rooms so hot at BT anyway.
Everybody's attention, it's after 5:30. We're gonna get this workshop ready to go, and, first we got a citizens forum. We got one person signed for it, and that's Miss Betty Merritt. Betty, just get up here to the podium and, state your name and the address for the record, and, it's your time to speak.
My name is Betty Merritt, 230 Hurricane Circle, Laverne. I have several issues, so bear with me. I am speaking for the senior citizens and myself. We need sidewalks in Laverne. Okay, your car breaks down. You are at a repair shop in Laverne. It's lunchtime. You have to walk to get some food. People fly by, don't care. I almost got run over a couple of times. I was at the red light at 7:30 one morning, and the car came flying by about 70 miles an hour. I said, where in the world is the PD? You get out of your car and you walk down the streets of Laverne. It's rough. You just need sidewalks. Another issue, Stones River Road. People are not observing the speed limit. You're coming from the garbage dump. You stop, you look both ways. You get halfway out in the middle of the street. Here comes somebody slamming their brakes. You almost get run over. I have done this a couple of times. There needs to be a solution. Another issue, a property owner at 222 Hurricane Circle drove a semi-tow truck that hauls 18-wheelers for many years until I got tired of seeing my street torn up. I got an email where I could turn this in. I emailed them a couple of times. Okay, it worked. He was parking in the parking lot over there next to the ball field. He patches the street. He patches. He's been doing this for years. It's torn up. It rains. Water puddles there. Shouldn't we have this street prepared, fixed properly by this owner? He tore it up with this 18-wheeler tow truck. Okay, these old, funky, nasty, filthy cars, inoperable, sitting on the property. A few weeks ago, I turned in a property that had 3 vehicles, funky, nasty, and unbelievable. They were junk on the property, and I got these restrictions when I bought my property. It says, number 8, no junk vehicles or any vehicle which is inoperable shall be parked, kept, or allowed to remain on any lot for any period of time in excess of 3 days. I know rules have changed.
Ma'am, I apologize, but your time is up.
Pardon?
Your time is up for speaking.
I'm not finished.
I'm sorry, we have rules that state there's 3 minutes.
Yeah. I'll come back later. Thank you.
Sure.
That's the only one that had to speak. We're just gonna, end the citizen forum and start into the workshop. This is the workshop for a, November 7th regular Mayor and Alderman meeting. The prayer is with Alderman Jones. The Pledge of Allegiance. I have the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody needs to look over the minutes for October 3rd, 2017, public hearing and the regular meeting. We have one presentation Tuesday night, and then one outstanding performance award that we do every 3 months quarterly. This brings us down to old business. Number 4, second reading ordinance 2017-23, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2017-18 general fund budget for fire department vehicles. This is second reading. We had the first reading last. Any discussion on the fire department vehicle? It's not a fire truck. I think it's just a regular vehicle that I think they pull a trailer with. Chris, you want to get up there and kind of freshen us up on it? Whoops.
Just a reminder, this is a 3/4 ton pickup truck for our shift commanders. Currently, they are in a older dually that's got over 200 and something thousand miles. But it's for the shift commander. It will be utilized twofold for the shift commanders and also to pull 2 of our trailers that we have, which we pulled yesterday morning to a training site.
And this item was in the budget.
Yes, sir. It was in the budget. However, the estimate for this vehicle was higher than what we put in the budget.
Okay. Any questions on the vehicle for the fire department? We're down to number 5, motion to approve or deny a settlement offer from Ryder Truck Rental condemnation lawsuit.
Mayor, if you'll remember last month, this was one of the Lower East Hurricane Creek sewer condemnation cases that we have with Ryder Truck. Last month, the City Council authorized me to present a counteroffer to Ryder Truck, which split the difference between what their offer was and what our appraiser was. And the counteroffer was $8,675. Ryder Truck has accepted that, and so I'm bringing it back through the City Council for your approval.
Any questions on the settlement for Ryder Truck? This is the time to speak. Evan's here to answer any questions. Hearing none, we run on down to consent agenda. A, approve city bids and purchases. Number 1, fuel card fleet management system. I take it that we're changing.
Mayor, I can speak to this one to some extent. The old system that we were using, the term had ended on that, or was getting ready to end, so we decided to go ahead and put out proposals for this item. We opened the proposals in October, and we had 2 responses. One was from James River Solutions, and the other was from WEX, W-E-X. After we reviewed the information, we feel that the better proposal is from the James River Solutions. This will be a 5-year contract to purchase our fuel through them using their system. Basically, the cost of fuel that we will have to pay will be 9.5 cents over the Nashville market OPIS rate, and they will adjust that daily to whatever the current rate is up in Nashville. So the other proposal, we would only get a 1% rebate on whatever was spent. So we felt that we would save a whole lot more money going with JRS than we would with WEX. So our recommendation is to go with James River Solutions.
Any questions on the fuel card? Number 2, bid janitorial supplies. This is something we do every year. Is it the same company or a different company?
The recommendation from Felicia is to stay with Lebanon Chemicals, who currently has our business for the various janitorial supplies. So yes, we will be staying with the same vendor if approved.
Any question on number 2? If not, we're going to number 3. GSA contract pricing, copy machine for city recorder's office.
Yes, sir. This is the copy machine that is in April's office. The term is almost ended on that. I believe it's a 5-year lease term, so it's almost up. The new machine will be at the same rate as the current machine. It's a little better machine. Plus the new agreement, the maintenance agreement, includes all toner cartridges, which would be color and black and white, which in the past, we had to pay for the color, and we only received the black and white. So we're ready to start the new lease on that machine. And that's what this is for.
Any questions on the copy machine? Number 4, state contract pricing for vehicle for fire department. I take it this is the same deal?
This is the actual purchase, approving the purchase of the vehicle. The previous item was the second reading of the budget amendment, but this is to approve the actual purchase of the vehicle that Chief Clark spoke about.
Any questions on the vehicle? B, approve change order number 2 for water treatment plant, roof replacement and prepare. Jamie.
Good evening, Mayor, Aldermen. This change order 2 is the final change order for this project. It adjusts the unit price quantities based on the actual amounts installed versus what was in the bid form initially. There was also some purlin repairs that were discovered during construction. Those were addressed while the project was in progress, and so there was a small addition for that. There was a deduction for the existing roof vent curbing that was fairly new and in good shape, so we recommended to go ahead and utilize what was existing instead of spending the money to replace that. So when it was all said and done, this change order will actually deduct $49,628 from the original contract price. So the final installed price is $264,737. And this will close that project out. We recommend approval of this change order. Do you all have any questions? Thank you.
Agreement with the Tennessee Telephone Company, TDS, to upgrade network internet capacity at the water treatment plant.
Yes, this is simply just changing the water treatment plant's bandwidth from 10 meg to 100 meg. There's no change in cost on it, and it's our contract that requires a signature, so.
Just a free upgrade.
Free upgrade, yes, sir. We like those.
You like free, don't you?
10 times faster free, too.
Any questions? E, approve broker services agreement with Hylant Group Incorporated for benefit consulting systems.
Mayor, I believe you skipped letter D.
Say what?
You skipped letter D.
D, okay, I'll come back to it.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Aldermen. We would like to present the information as presented in your packet for the renewal of our benefit program. This is Christy LaGrange. She is our representative with Hylant Services. They are the administrators of our benefit program. So without further ado, I'll let Christy highlight some of the information that was presented in the package in regard to what we anticipate for next year's benefit program for all of our employees.
Sure. Our recommendation at Hylant is to renew all the benefits as they are currently for the city of Laverne. We are going to eliminate in the basic life portion of your benefits, we're going to eliminate the age reduction schedule, and that's going to be an increase of just 1 cent per $1,000 of coverage. Additionally, in 2018, we're going to roll out a completely 100% voluntary pet insurance. We did a survey at the health fair about 2 weeks ago, and overwhelming response was that that would be something your employees are interested in getting. So those are the main changes. Everything else, all the other vendors are remaining the same with Blue Cross, HealthScope, and the Standard.
And the pet insurance program is zero cost to the city. All of this is totally voluntary. If employees want to join this program, it is up to them to pay the premium. So the city in no way is tied to making a premium for the pet insurance. This is a strictly voluntary program. We're just offering it because a lot of our employees would like to see us provide this. It's similar to like Colonial Health Insurance or anything else, but there's no fixed cost attached to the city as far as premiums or any type of agreement fee or anything of that nature. So that's where we are. And we're also wanting to sign the renewal with Hylant for a 1-year period. It's a contractual arrangement, and so we have had all of those agreements reviewed by our city council, and everything is in its proper order. Are there any questions from the council in reference to the information that's been provided?
Any questions? Y'all done D&E then?
Yes.
We covered D&E?
No.
Okay, so we're good. Any questions? Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Now it brings down to new business. Resolution 2000.
Still gotta go back to D.
Huh? Still got to do D? Okay.
No, they covered both D
I
and
think
E
they
while we
covered
were
both of them
up
up
there.
there. Down to new business, resolution. Let's see. Resolution 2017-24, a resolution of the City of Laverne, Board of Mayor and Aldermen to declare property owned by the city to be surplus to the city needs and directing disposal of the same. This is vehicles seized and impounded, and I think it's a shredder and also a toolbox. Am I right, Bruce?
Yes, sir, truck toolbox.
It will be put out for bid if this resolution is approved. Any questions on any of the surplus items? Number 8, motion to approve disposal for operation, maintenance, and management of the water treatment plant, silver. Go ahead.
Hey, good evening again, Mayor, Aldermen. On September 14th, 2017, the City of Laverne received 2 proposals in response to the request for proposal for the operation, maintenance, and management of the water treatment plant. There were 2 respondents. One was Severn Trent Environmental Services, and the other was Clearwater Solutions. The proposals were evaluated by a review committee, which consisted of 3 Griggs & Maloney employees and 3 city employees. Each member of the review committee independently evaluated the RFPs in accordance with the process and criteria described in the RFP. Then we jointly discussed our independent evaluations, and there were some items from each party that we requested to be clarified. Once we received the clarifications, again, we independently reviewed those and made our evaluations and then came together to discuss. Based on this complete and thorough review of each proposal, the review committee unanimously agreed that Severn Trent is the most responsible respondent, and we recommend approving Severn Trent's proposal pending the final negotiations of the contract price and language pending the city attorney's approval.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. That puts us down to number 9, approve or remove board members. A is Greenway Advisory Committee. 1 term is vacant, and that's Doug Smith. He resigned, so Tuesday we will not need to remove him. If we got any applicants, we will be voted on choosing one if we get any applicants. B is Planning Commission, 2 terms, Earl Garvin Jr. and E. Von Ablin. These is seats that I fill. The mayor fills them seats, so Tuesday I'll be ready to fill them seats. We also have two more people that signed up for that, and one is Richard Dinch and a Miss Brown. So I will be able to fill them 2 seats Tuesday night. C is Senior Citizen Advisory Committee. 2 terms is vacant. Is Deborah Clark and Siebel Paydigo. We will, you got any applicants for that, we will try to fill them Tuesday. If not, we will defer it on. Then the beer board, we got 1 member, Diva Beach. I think she's been removed. Bruce, you know the reason she's been removed? Did she resign or?
Lack of attendance at the
Lack of attendance. So we got 1 to remove, so the beer board will be up. And then E, this is just FYI, Laverne Housing Authority, 1 term expired. Dr. Virginia McMath. This one here probably will not be on Tuesday night. And it moves us on down to number 10. This is a resolution 2017-25, a resolution to authorize the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of real estate property for the future public works facility. Who's got this one?
I'll start. If we have questions, I can probably jump in. As all of you are aware, we have a critical need for a new public works facility. We've been talking about this for quite some time. When we did the space needs study 2 or 3 years ago, whatever it was now, they recommended that we purchase some property that's about 10 to 12 acres for this new facility. As y'all are also aware, it's getting more difficult to find larger tracts of land, especially that are relatively centrally located, that we would be able to put this type of facility in. We had hopes on a different property, but that fell through. It was sold before we could take advantage of it. So Kyle and I were talking, and we thought that we thought of these properties here. This is located, Glenn, if you go to the next page, it'll show a map. This property is located adjacent to the roundabout on Stones River Road and near Schreibman Boulevard. There's a total of 4 parcels that we are currently looking at, 3 of which are owned by one property owner and 1 by another. The total acreage that we're looking at is just over 25 acres for those 4 parcels. We know the cost for 3 of those parcels. We don't know the cost for that 2-acre parcel that's owned by Mr. Pardue. We have not discussed it with him yet. But we are requesting that this resolution be approved so that we can move forward with negotiations and doing the things that we need to do to prepare to purchase the property, which would include getting final pricing and getting appraisals and all of that sort of thing, and move forward. Obviously, we're not looking to build a building in the near future, but we've got to buy the property when it's available. I would like to think that we could build a building within 2 or 3 years. We also have a fire station that we've got to build, so we've got to look at financing and how we're going to do all of this. But we're also, with the existing public works facility, which is only about 6 acres, it is located in a flood zone, so that's one of the reasons we need to move it. Plus, they just don't have enough room for all of their needs. We do have someone that is interested in purchasing the existing building and land, so that we're hopeful that with the sale of that property, that would help pay for this land that we're purchasing here. So that is our recommendation. I'll be happy to answer any questions, or Kyle, and we'll do the best we can.
Any questions on this piece of property?
I'm concerned a little bit on the price of it. I've already reached out to our county property assessor, and the valuation that they have on the land versus what's being asked for is a difference of over $250,000.
That's why we would have to do appraisals on it to make sure that that price is a viable price for the city. But that's something that we have to go into after we get this approved, so we can do our behind-the-scenes work to see if this is going to be feasible.
And then as far as the vehicle load, are you looking at Stones River or East near Shriveman as where you would wind up putting the entrance? Because this is primarily all residential area, and this would be either commercial or industrial, so that's going to affect people's property values as well.
Right. At this point, that has not been decided. We'll obviously have to get with engineers and architects to work on a layout of the property as far as where we're going to put the facility. So right now, I don't have an answer for that question.
Well, depending on the negotiations on Stones River Road, if we were to take that, wouldn't Stone River Road be able to be extended? If we were to buy the property, then wouldn't we be able to extend that road to make, to ease the traffic on that, on the right side?
Widen it?
Or widen it, yeah. I know we can't do anything with the core side, but if, what is that? Is that 468, 466, 68, and 76, all in that area? I mean, if we can, and again, I'm talking negotiations, then we could bring also in extension of that, widening of that road, correct?
It is a possibility, yes, sir.
Okay.
That would all be in the development of the property when we actually start working on it.
Okay.
The refresh, this is the property that come up for rezoning, I think, about 6-8 months ago, that a developer wanted to go with townhomes, and it was voted down. And I think it's zoned R2, high-density residential housing. See, how many acres is it, Bruce?
Well, in total, including the properties along Stones River, it's about 25 acres total. The frontage part on Stones River is actually zoned R1, and then that biggest parcel towards the back, the 16, almost 17 acres, is zoned R2.
So if it goes R2, if you figure three houses per acre, so you're figuring probably anywhere from 75 to 100 homes. Figure taxes on a home, Laverne taxes about $400 a year. So, you know, we purchasing this property, we're actually going, if it's developed out, we're going to lose some tax money. But then on the other hand, we'll eliminate a piece of property and probably 100 homes. So, you know, everybody hollers about traffic. This is double-edged sword. We're going to lose tax money, but then again, we'll ease the traffic in the long run. So.
Yeah, and I will note that there is a buyer that is wanting to develop it for residential properties right now. I think as it's currently zoned, maybe go to all R2, but there is at least one buyer that wants to buy it right now. So, you know, it's either we purchase it for this use, or it will develop into residential at some point. I have no doubt about that.
My main concern is what you brought up prior, the fact that we waited too long on the other property and we lost it. I mean, we need to act and do something. We we've got to put forth an effort because it's a given that we've got to build that building. I mean, we've got to get, you know, we've got to get them somewhere for them to be able to do something. And again, to tag along with what you said, we're running out of large area spaces. And what that's gonna do is, if we get to a point where, you know, we're gonna have to, if we have to piecemeal this thing together and have one service driving all over town to get to each one of their buildings, that's not gonna be feasible either. So I think that, you know, just speaking to the board directly, whatever we do, we need to do it and not lose this piece of parcel like we did the other one.
One thing that the citizens have expressed concern over is a lack of vision, and so definitely this is a forward-looking move. Property values are going up in Laverne, and if we don't do it now, likely it will be a lot more expensive in the long run, and definitely we need it now, so.
Anybody else have any discussion? This is a prime time to ask any questions. While everybody, we've got the public works guy here, we got everybody here, so. Gordon, you wanna get up and put your 10 cents worth in?
We need the building. Some days, you get them hard winds and rains, you know, the bay doors out there coming in, and the wall comes with it, it goes in and out. Got mold, you just deal with it. And we are getting overcrowded as far as equipment.
Just say if we did buy this property, it'd probably be 3 to 5 years before, I'm sure before y'all would, move in it, cause it'd take if we started on it tomorrow, it'd take at least, a year and a half, cause it's a lot of trees out there, and it'd take quite a bit of clearing to clear it out to build. I think Miss Skinner can agree to some cleaning. I think she's had enough cleaning there, Miss Skinner.
Yes, I've had too much.
So it is wooded quite well, so. But it is located good. It's centrally located.
That Purdue property, are you planning to try to purchase that in the same package?
Yes, ma'am. That's one of the 4 parcels.
And let's just talk about for a minute, just in case he's not willing to sell. Would that property still work with that chunk cut out of it?
That's only 2 acres, yes, ma'am.
It'd probably work better with the frontage because you'd have access on two roads. You could come in on Stones River or Deer Shribed,
And I know the residents have already complained about the traffic around that circle there, so that would mediate that future problem as well.
Yeah, there's 3 stub outs on their
There's
street
like
already.
3.
Yeah.
Would this property be able to be shared with other department needs? I know we did a space needs assessment, and I can't remember how many acres they recommended for us for our campus.
Right, it's possible that we could. There again, it just depends on how things are laid out and you know, if we're successful in acquiring this property, yeah.
During the rezoning a few months ago, the gentleman that owns the 20-something acres, I want to say to the north of this property, he got up and spoke that he mentioned if the property was rezoned for apartments, he would be willing to sell his property. So if the city did need any more property, I'm sure that his offer would be the same. I'm sure he would be willing to sell his 20-something acres on the upper part of this picture, so.
I've actually heard from him. He's already looking at selling it to another group.
Right. So, It's definitely, this area is definitely gonna be developed one way or the other. At least the city buy it, or it's gonna be developed by developers for sure, because this is a hot area for development. Anybody else wants to say anything? I know this is gonna be a big purchase, and, I sort of feel that it ain't enough questions being asked, but everybody might have a lot to think about and might want to call some people between now and Tuesday, but, I think this is going to be for a vote one way or the other Tuesday, so if you think of anything or have any questions, I'm sure call Bruce or Kyle, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you as much as they can, but
Do we have an estimated dollar amount on that? I know we don't know about the 2 acres.
Yeah,
but-
the 3 parcels that are owned by the one person is $950,000. And we don't know what the 2-acre portion would be, so it would be in addition to that. Which for 25 acres, or 23 acres for the 950, that's really not too bad a price. The land that we're looking at for the fire department is much more expensive than that off of Old Nashville Highway. Per acre.
does anybody know what it's residential, so anybody know what the going rate for residential is per acre?
I don't know, sir.
I'm sure we'd get it appraised. So we vote on Tuesday night. This is just a resolution to authorize the mayor, myself, to enter in with a contract for the purchase of this real estate. So that don't mean we vote for it. It don't mean we're gonna buy it.
Correct.
Then we'll have to come back to get a final vote, so
Once
this is
everything-
just to entertain, to talk to them, so even if we vote to go ahead, we're still not buying it. It'll come back for us for a
correct.
vote. So it may be that we can't negotiate a price, so. Anything else? Number 10 is the last deal, so nobody else, we're gonna move on to Mayor and Alderman comments. Melissa Brown?
Well, we won't meet again until Thanksgiving, or after Thanksgiving, so I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and just be careful this holiday season.
Calvin Jones?
None, I'm just glad to see that everyone made it through our Halloween safely, although we did see some pretty dangerous practices. I don't know what or where they came up with driving up the street with your flashers on, letting your kid walk beside the car in all black outfits in the dark. Maybe we'll use it as a learning process. I'm just glad no one got hurt, and we'll use it as a learning process.
Jason Cole?
No, thank you.
Well, thank everyone for coming out for the Trail of Treats. The weather was good, and it was a good turnout, and a lot of candy was given away. And I think everybody had a good time. I think everybody enjoyed it. And another thing, Saturday there's going to be a country ham breakfast, November the 4th, from 6 to 10, up there in Smyrna at the old Mason Lodge. That's up there on Nissan Drive, right across from Planet Fitness. And it's supposed to proceeds supposed to benefit the Laverne Community Food Bank. And it's at the Sam Davis Mason Lodge. They asked me for $10 donation. They're gonna have ham and eggs and whatever, but it's this Saturday November the 4th, so I told them that I would tell them about that because they said it proceeds would benefit the Laverne Community Food Bank. And got sort of some bad news. We're losing Rachel, our PR person. She was just here for a short time, but done a great job, and she's leaving on the 16th, and she's going to be well missed. And I just wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a safe Thanksgiving. And I have nothing else, and I'll call this workshop over.